Welcome back to the Naio Nails channel, and today Kennedy is going to be showing us how she created this gorgeous 3D fruit set. If you fancy learning how to do this, then just keep watching. So the acrylic base here that Kennedy has used is Shell Pink, and it's a lovely, really versatile colour that you can use on any skin tone, and it always looks gorgeous. So we're first going to go in here with a base, and this is just to make sure that the nails are prepped, smooth and ready for this gorgeous nail art. So she's just going in here with some gel wipe-off solution just to clean up. And firstly, we have a cherry nail, which is super cute. I'm obsessed with this hot pink base. Kennedy is going to be doing one coat of that, and then we are going in with this lovely bright green for the stem of the cherry, and you want to make sure to pop 2 lines with a slight curve in them on the opposite sides, and then just drag one of your lines a little bit higher than the others to create the top of the stem. So Kennedy is now using the As Day BIAB from our range, and it creates gorgeous 3D work without having to use too much product or anything too difficult, especially if you are a beginner. Make sure to pick your colour of choice for the cherries, and we are using this gorgeous red. And once Kennedy has finished colouring in these cherries, then that nail is complete. If you're not used to doing 3D nail art but you want to try, then I definitely recommend As Day BIAB because it is very easy to use and it's not sticky, it doesn't run everywhere, it's got good control, and I feel like it's a very quick and easy way if you're used to using gel polish. So Kennedy is now going in on the ring finger, and we're using Sun Quenched here, which is a gorgeous vibrant yellow. It's got great coverage. You want to create a half circle about 1/4 of the way down the nail, and then completely fill that in. You can use 1 coat or 2 coats, whatever you feel is best. And once that has cured for 60 seconds, we are then going to go in and create the top of the pineapple. As you can see here, Kennedy has popped some green on the top of the pineapple, and then using a really small fine liner brush, she's going to drag bits of gel up and around that top section just to create the spiky effect. Once you've done that, the next step will be to get yourself a long liner brush, and using a brown shade, you want to just create some diagonal lines from one corner to the other. And then you're going to repeat that on the other side so you have a cross effect. And doing some cross work like this with lines that thin is really tricky, so Kennedy is doing an amazing job of demonstrating how to do this. So you might be wondering what Kennedy is doing now with this little torch. It's a mini gel lamp, and what she's doing is adding As Day BIAB in the same direction that we just did those brown lines. So you want to do each line diagonally and flash cure them as you go, and then you're going to do the same again on the other side in the other direction. And that will give you your gorgeous 3D fruit effect. Simple as that. So onto the middle finger, and Kennedy is using a long liner brush, which is really great for detail, and if you are wanting to create the perfect smile line for your French or any other design, then the longer the detail brush, the better. I think me, and along with all my other nail tech buddies out there, we can all agree. So what she's done first here is create a gorgeous smile line, and this is going to be the base of this dragon fruit tip. And then going in with Snow White, she's going to now just fill in all of that excess nail at the bottom, like so. You can do 1 coat or 2, again, it's all your preference. So now that Kennedy has cured that for 60 seconds, we're going to use Serious Black and just pop our little seeds all over the nail here. And then you are going to want to cure that again for 60 seconds before the next step. Fabulous. So now that's done, Kennedy is going to mix top coat and Snow White together, and this is just going to give a slightly sheer cover over those seeds, which just makes it look a little bit more realistic. So we're on to the next now, and Kennedy is popping on Sour Plum, which is one of our gorgeous jelly ranges. These are transparent and they are really cool because they just tint the nail basically, and it's a great way to do your designs, especially if you're doing fruit designs or anything like that. So make sure to cure that for 60 seconds, and then you're going to use a green of your choice and basically wrap around the cuticle area, and this is going to be the top of your line. And then below that you are going to want to use a really thin fine liner brush with Snow White, outline that circle around the cuticles that you did, and then you want to drag your vertical line and your horizontal line first across the nail. This is going to create the base of your fruit. And as you can see here, Kennedy is just going in a diagonal angle as well, which obviously you're going to need to do if you want it to be a nice line. And then just pop a little dot in the center there. And once you've done that, what you need to do, and this is going to make the difference of it being realistic and not, is you want to curl those corners in from where the vertical, diagonal and horizontal lines meet the outer edge of the nail. You just want to create a softer corner basically. As you can see here, Kennedy is almost finished with that now, and it started to look so much more realistic just by creating those round corners. If you want to create this nail but in a 3D version, is you want to get your Clear As Day BIAB and drag a small bead of it on the outer edge of each section, and just drag it very slowly into the center and lightly. Don't put too much pressure on this, making sure to cure each as you go, and this will just essentially stop each bead from dripping down. So we are on a roll here, and Kennedy is now moving on to the strawberry, which we're going to pop on the thumb today. So grab your red next, and you want to cover the whole nail in this colour. You can do one coat or two here, doesn't matter, but just make sure it's nice and smooth and even all the way around. Make sure to pop it in the lamp for 60 seconds. Then Kennedy is going to go in with Buttercup here and just create small seeds in a staggered manner across the whole of the nail. Again, once that has been cured for 60 seconds, we're going to use our Clear As Day BIAB, which seems to be the product of the set today. And we're going to go in and do our crosswork again. So you want to drag that Clear As Day BIAB in opposite directions across the nail. And before moving on to our second hand, Kennedy is just going to top coat all of these nails now. And as you know, if you are a nail tech or a nail artist, you want to make sure those bad boys are cured and smooth, so there is no chance of dropping any powders or dust or anything like that in them. So yeah, pop that top coat on as soon as you're done and move on to the next hand. And on the thumb here, we are going to use a gorgeous green colour, and you're going to want to pop this all over the nail, just making sure that everything is completely smooth. Using a lighter green of your choice, you are going to add some to the center of this nail, and using a liner brush like we did earlier, you want to drag those edges out just like Kennedy is doing here, because we just want to blend that product out so it's a little bit smoother of a blend. This is going to be your kiwi. Also, before I forget to mention, if you like any of the products that you've seen so far in this set, we have used plenty. Make sure to check out the description box below, and it has a product list there. You can click on any you want and it will take you straight to the website and you can pop those in your basket. So now going in again with Serious Black, we're going to just create the seeds in the centre of the nail. Then using our trusty Clear As Day BIAB again, Kennedy is going to pop some dots scattered around this nail so it almost gives the effect that it's real and it's a little bit wet inside, I guess. And that is that one done. So we're going to move on to the next one now. We've only got 4 to go, and we're going to use our lovely shade from the Jelly collection, which is Valencia Orange, and she's just going to pop that all over the nail to give a tint. This nail could be interpreted as an orange or like a grapefruit kind of vibes, but we're going to pop a lovely orange around the top of the cuticle area again and go in with Snow White just below that. Now we did just do this pattern on the lime nail as well, so if you are getting stuck you can refer back to that nail too, but she's just going to go in here now and pop your lines in, cure it, and then go in with the 3D using Clear As Day BIAB just to finish that nail off. Can we all just take a minute for this nail, because I really think that the 3D effect is looking gorgeous and Kennedy has done an insane job so far. I'm excited to see this next design now on the middle finger. Right, so we're doing watermelon now on this finger, and Kennedy has used a light green shade to create her smile line tip again, and this is the same as the grapefruit nail that we did on the opposite hand. So now you've done the smile line, you want to pick your red and then fill in all of the tip area of this nail. Kennedy has picked Courtesan for this red, which is gorgeous. It's bright, full coverage, just what you want for a lovely red. Make sure to cure in between, and then using Serious Black and a small detail brush, just add your seeds. And now we've only got 2 nails left to do. Exciting! So you want to use Evil Queen now for the grape nail, and you want to cover the whole nail first as the base. Once you've done that, pop a second coat on after you've cured it for 60 seconds, and then make sure to cure it again. Now guess what product we're using next? I bet you can't. We are going to use Clear As Day again and just create some small beads in a circular shape all over the nail to give the grape effect. You do need to use a gel lamp or a small handheld lamp in between this to flash cure, just so that they don't move, because you want to keep them as circle as possible. And that is the finished result of that nail. It looks gorgeous. I'm obsessed with this set so far, and I definitely need to get it myself. I've got like nail envy. So last nail. And these are going to be 2 blueberries. So Kennedy has used Clear as Day just to create some large circle 3D areas to this nail, which we're going to then cover in a nice blue shade in a minute. But before we do that, we are going to pop some Burgundy chrome powder all over this grape nail, and that's just going to give it some definition and something to make it pop. The blue that Kennedy has picked today is Guilt Trip, and it's going to look stunning because it is literally the perfect blueberry colour. So once that is done, Kennedy is going to get her client there to just cure them for 60 seconds before adding some small details here with a dotting tool. Once she's done that, she's going to add top coat and we are done. I hope that you enjoyed that video. I think Kennedy did a fantastic job of recreating this fruit set. Please let us know in the comments which nail is your favourite. Mine is still the Dragonfruit, I think. I just love that. I think the colours are so stunning with the white and the pink. But yeah, in general, it's a great set. And make sure to give us a like and a comment. Make sure to subscribe and also hit the bell notification if you want to see more. Thank you very much for watching. Bye. Okay, I'm not gone. If you want to check out the colours that were used in this set, you can see the whole list of images at the end of this video, so just stay tuned for that.